Welcome to my home office tour. Ever since I can remember, I've been obsessed with home office builds, and I've always dreamt of building my home office in order to optimize my creative workflow. But I didn't always have the opportunity to do so. The truth is, I spent the majority of my 20s backpacking. So I was working off my laptop at coffee shops and my kitchen table, so I never really got the chance to invest in a home office that would help me be better at what I do. At least not until 2018, when I moved to Vancouver, Canada, and started my career as a commercial photographer and filmmaker. It was only then that I started to build out my dream home office. And after 2 years of working really hard at my business, I was finally scaling it, making more money, working with more people, and acquiring the bits and pieces that would help me build my dream office. But suddenly, everything changed. Schmovid came along, and living in Canada was no longer fun. So I decided to pack my bags and move down to Mexico, where I am now. So this is it, my dream home office. A combination of bits and pieces I've acquired throughout the years that I brought down from Canada to Mexico to build this home office. Now, when I started my first business, I was working on my kitchen table on my laptop. And after 6 years, I can finally feel it coming together into what it is today. But the truth is, it will never actually be complete. And that's because I believe that building a home office is part of a much larger journey. It's about learning about yourself, learning about your profession and your career, learning about your clients and your workflow. It's always a work in progress. So some of the tools that work for you today may not work for you a year from now or 2 years from now. So if you're feeling intimidated by all the bells and whistles that you see in this, don't be. Building a home office is part of a long journey, and all I can say is keep at it, keep going, and slowly your home office will come together. Before I dive in, if you can do me the favor of clicking the like and subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm, I would really appreciate it. But without further delay, let's get started. Now, first things first is the space. My wife Jasmina and I live in a small townhouse in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and we chose this townhouse because it's small, cozy, and has 2 rooms. One of them is our bedroom, the other one is this office. Now, the space is a little bit tight, but we make it work. And given that we work in the same business, this office has become a warm and cozy space where we feel productive and optimal to work on our goals. We decided to put Jazz's desk up against the window and mine up against the wall. And by doing this, we give ourselves a little bit of privacy in order to focus on our goals throughout the day. Now let's move on to the beast of a computer that powers my build. This is my 2023 M2 Max Studio with 12-core CPU, 30-core GPU, 2 TB internal storage, and 64 GB of RAM. Now, this computer is totally overkill for the average person, but this is a tool that allows me to have the most efficient workflow without any bottlenecks. Now, I'm sure you can probably relate to this, but having a slow computer has been the #1 bottleneck that I've experienced in my workflow. As a commercial photographer, videographer, and social media marketer, I have a very resource-intensive workflow. And that workflow often consists of running DaVinci Resolve at the same time as Premiere Pro, After Effects, multiple Google Chrome tabs, Adobe Lightroom, Photoshop, as well as my notes, Spotify, YouTube, and a handful of other tasks. And I expect 0 delay from my computer. If you would like an in-depth review of the M2 Max Studio for photographers, filmmakers, and social media marketers, let me know in the comments section. I'll be sure to make that video for you. Now, my first desk build started with a 2015 MacBook Pro and a custom-built PC that you can see here. And just after a few years, I started to experience bottlenecks in my workflow. So that is why I switched to my M2 Max Studio in combination with a spec'd out 2017 i7 MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. And together, these 2 devices allow me to have a flawless workflow, whether I am at home or on the road. Now, the monitor that I use for this build is a Dell UltraSharp U4919DW. This is a 32:9, 49-inch QHD curved monitor with a native resolution of 5120 by 1440 at 60 Hz. And this monitor is absolutely perfect for what I do. It allows me to run multiple workflows at once and has a 99 RGB factory calibration of delta E less than 2. In other words, this monitor has really accurate colors, so if you're a photographer or filmmaker, you don't have to worry about things looking different on other screens. And most important of all, this Dell monitor has 2 features that have optimized my workflow. The first one is the picture-by-picture mode, allowing me to connect two computers to the monitor at once. I recently found out about Apple's universal control feature, where you can put two computers side by side and use one set of mouse and keyboard for both. And this is a massive feature, allowing me to use both computers for an easy drag and drop workflow. And the second feature that has become integral to my workflow is the ability to use this monitor as a Thunderbolt hub. If you're a Mac Studio user, you probably know this already, but the Studio has two USB-A ports, 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and 2 USB-C ports. And that's not enough ports for a desktop. But by using one single Thunderbolt cable from my computer to my monitor, I can now use 5 additional USB 3 ports. This means I can run all of my peripherals through my monitor. And this means that I can free up those Thunderbolt 4 ports at the back of the computer to connect all of my external drives and get the most speed out of them. Overall, this is a phenomenal monitor. I know it's big, believe me. I flew it from Canada to Mexico and it was a pain in the ass, but I did it and it was totally worth it because I use this monitor every single day and it's become an integral part of my workflow. Sitting under my computer and monitor is my Red Lemon gaming mouse pad. This is a large 80 by 40 centimeter mouse pad that complements and protects my Perota wood desk underneath. And it also serves as a platform for me to use my mouse on. Now, I can't say that it's the best mouse pad in the market in comparison to some of the other ones out there, but it is a solid product. It's easy to clean, it's lightweight, it's durable, and it gives my desk a clean and modern look. Now, sitting on top of my Red Lemon mouse pad is my Red Dragon K551 RGB mechanical keyboard, and I absolutely love this keyboard. It features a premium build, a side numerical keypad, and customizable RGB buttons. And that just means that I can customize this keyboard to serve a purpose in every application. I purchased this keyboard back when I used to use my PC, but now that I'm on a Mac Studio, I have strongly considered getting the Apple keyboard. However, I can't justify it. This keyboard is way too good, and until it stops working, I will continue to use it. And next to my Red Dragon keyboard is my Logitech G502 Lightspeed gaming mouse. This is an expensive but totally worth it piece of equipment. It fits my large hands perfectly, and all 11 buttons are customizable per application, meaning that they will always serve a purpose for an efficient workflow. With phenomenal battery life and build quality, the Logitech G502 Lightspeed has now become my favorite mouse. As for audio for the setup, I use the PreSonus Eries 3.5 studio monitors, giving me exceptional studio quality sound. I hook these speakers up to my PreSonus AudioBox Go, which allows me to have both my speakers and my headphones plugged in with individual volume dials. And this is critical to my workflow because it allows me to switch from my headphones to my speakers anytime that I want to show something to Jazz. My headphone and monitor use is split 50-50, giving me both quiet and privacy when I need it, and also premium studio quality speakers whenever I want to turn things up. Together, my headphones and speakers provide me with high quality and accurate sound reproduction, which is essential for anyone that's working with audio. Now, the headphones that I'm using now are the Audio-Technica M20Xs, and I bought these off Facebook Marketplace years ago for like 20 bucks. But after years and years of wear and tear, I think it's time for an upgrade. Last year, I bought Jazz a pair of the Audio-Technica M40Xs for her birthday, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed by their sound quality and their build quality. So I think once Christmas comes around, I'll be buying myself a pair of those as well. If you're looking for a pair of studio headphones, I highly recommend the Audio-Technica M series. They're an amazing choice that you won't regret. Now, they're not gonna have that Beats by Dre bassy sound, but they are gonna have a very accurate sound reproduction. So if you're working on anything like filmmaking or music production, these headphones are gonna work really well for you. Going back to the PreSonus AudioBox Go, I recently bought this just a few weeks ago, and I wanted to mention that it has 2 audio inputs at the back. And that's where I plug in my Rode VideoMic NTG, which I'm using for this video. However, I'm thinking I may upgrade my microphone to a Shure SM7B or the PreSonus PD70 dynamic microphone, only because I use the AC in this room, which is right above my head, and sometimes I'm able to hear it with this microphone. But with that being said, I do highly recommend the Rode VideoMic NTG. Up until now, it's been a critical part of my workflow, and I use it for YouTube videos, Zoom calls, Instagram videos, as well as professional productions that require professional audio. And holding everything in place is my custom built 75 by 130 centimeter Perota wood desk with a welded steel base and a custom-built monitor riser. This is a beautiful desk and I'm very happy with it. For me, having a big desk is essential to my workflow because, to be honest, I'm one of those like messy but organized people. I like to have things on my desk because I like to have things accessible to me. As part of my creative workflow, I like to grab a pen and paper and take some notes down, or put my laptop down and work on it on the side, put something on the desk, or have tools available within my arm's reach. So maybe when I move to another house and get a bigger office, I'll get a new desk. But for now, I'm very happy with this custom-made ProtoWood desk, and it does the job wonderfully. Now, moving on to the thing that I sit my butt on every single day is my Herman Miller Mira 2 chair. I actually picked it up at a secondhand store for only $100, and it is in mint condition. I have to say, it's by far my favorite chair that I've ever owned. Made in the USA with premium quality materials, mechanics, and of course, ventilation. For lighting, I like to keep it pretty straightforward. I have an LED strip behind my monitor, one underneath my monitor riser, and one across the wall on the floor. And together, these lights create a nice mood for whenever I'm filming videos. And for professional lighting, I use the Amaran 200X 200 watt adjustable temperature LED light with a small rig RA D55 diffuser on a simple light stand. Now, this combination is absolutely perfect for a small office and even for professional use. And it's what we use to film our YouTube videos, Instagram content, and even professional productions. The light is small, lightweight, but very powerful, and the diffuser gives a beautiful and even light distribution. Last but not least, I have a couple knickknacks that complete the office, such as the hexagon sound panels, which look better than they function, as well as our lovely plant right beside the Edison light bulb for a warm, cozy feel, our whiteboard to organize all of our ideas, and of course, our storage closet. This room was originally a bedroom, so the built-in closet naturally became our gear closet. Now, we're still missing some art on the wall, but I already have a piece in mind by my friend Jos Monson. However, I just need to find a frame and I'll be putting it up right there. All right, so that concludes my home office tour. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel. And if you want to see Jasmina's desk setup, comment below so she makes a video just like this one. Out of the two of us, I'm the one that deals more so with the video aspect of her business, and she's the one that deals more with the social media and photography side of the business. So both of our setups are unique to our workflows. Running a social media and content creation agency requires a lot of moving pieces, and these are the tools that help us do our job to the best of our ability for ourselves and for our clients. I think that's the number one thing that matters most when building a home office, is not having the newest, the most expensive, or the flashiest pieces of equipment, but having the tools that help you serve yourself and your clients to the best of your abilities. After all, these are just things and they don't really matter unless you put them to use. So with that being said, I hope that this video inspired you to build your own home office or taught you about a few products that help me in my workflow. So I'd love to hear your feedback. If you want to share your desk setup with me, put it in the comment section below and I'd love to watch it and leave you a comment as well. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.